This Sunday will be the one-year anniversary of the launch of the final space shuttle mission. Now, we haven't forgotten the shuttle, and if Madison County Scott Phillips has his way, we never will.
His passion, the shuttle's legacy. And WHNT News 19 Steve Johnson with the story.
You don't really think about spaceflight as you watch Scott Phillips saw a piece of cherry wood. In Scott's workshop, you start getting hints. He takes the cherry and other choice pieces of wood, and he turns them into models of the space shuttle. He made his first one in 1985.
Well, you know, I had a situation where people were retiring from the shuttle program, and I was a woodworker and everyone knew it, and so I was challenged to make a crude representation of the shuttle.
Of course, there's nothing crude about the models Scott has lovingly created since that first effort.
It's a serious thing for me, and I've done over 250 to date, and I have every one of them tracked.
From Scott's workshop, the shuttle models have gone to astronauts, to retiring NASA workers, even to NASA administrators. Scott has kept a few, like this one signed by the pilots of the very first shuttle mission, STS-1. This photo shows Scott's special connection to that first flight. Working for a NASA contractor, he was the last man out of the external tank.
Space shuttle.
Yeah, Scott was at Kennedy Space Center for that first shuttle launch, and he worked with the external tank for every launch since.
Liftoff, the final liftoff of Atlantis.
And that includes the last one, nearly a year ago, STS-135.
My father-in-law, he's a World War II guy, 87 years old, flew a B-25 Mitchell. He talks about it like it was his whole life, and he was on it for 16 months. And here I've been in the space program for 33 years. So it's something I'll carry with the rest of my life.
Scott made this tribute to the shuttle program. It includes all the mission pins and, of course, a shuttle model. It's signed by the last crew. The display also includes the red flight ribbon Scott pulled from that very first external tank.
Having fired the imagination of a generation, a ship like no other, its place in history secured, the space shuttle pulls into port for the last time.
Scott retired after that final mission, but there's no separating Scott Phillips from the shuttle program. Certainly the dozens of hours he puts in every exquisite model shows his love for the shuttle's legacy.
I'm excited when I see somebody light up and get one of those models.
The best thing, Scott Phillips plans to keep making them. Steve Johnson, WHNT News 19.
Scott Phillips busy these days writing a book about his experiences with the shuttle program.
Also, there's a display of his work at the Huntsville Convention and Visitors Bureau in Church Street. It will be there through the end of August.
I'm Josh Baer with SpaceAlabama.com. The space shuttle program may be over, but a former shuttle employee is keeping the legacy alive with two different tools, words and wood. Scott Phillips earned his nickname not from working on the actual space shuttle, but from his exquisite models.
Shuttle Man was a nickname. They're just because I did the shuttle models, and it just came natural to me. And so it became sort of an identity for me.
He began making the models to commemorate each shuttle mission. He's now made over 450 models, many with over 20 types of wood. The models not only represent shuttle history, but are also a part of it.
John Glenn, Eileen Collins, Mae Jemison, and some of those folks came back, and I got them to sign. So it's really sort of an art that I can pass on to the next generation, because these will be around for quite a few years.
But Phillips wanted to leave behind something more than the models. His new book, Removed Before Flight, is his way of ensuring the spirit of the space shuttle program endures.
I want my boys, in particular, and the next generation, to get that sense of purpose and accomplishment, and then really it helps mankind in the long run.
Wood will eventually decay, but words can live much longer.
I'm really keeping the inspiration, the flame of inspiration burning for human space flight through the legacy of the space shuttle program.
Phillips hopes that his models and book help inspire the next generation like he was inspired by former generations himself. For all your space news, visit SpaceAlabama.com.